Hey YouTube, Big458 here. Well, I've identified the next gun in my collection I'm getting ready to move on from, and that is my Taurus 689VR. VR stands for ventilated rib. Now these guns were made by Taurus from 1988, I think, until like 1998, and then they discontinued them. This gun is a replacement for the one that I bought back in 1989 that I sold a few years ago. Here's a picture of it. Now, a lot of times people will make comparisons between Taurus revolvers and Smith & Wesson revolvers because they look so similarly. And that just wasn't by chance. They were actually designed to rival Smith & Wesson guns because they're at a time, the parent company called Bangor Punta actually owned Smith & Wesson and Taurus at the same time. Now, it was sometime between like 1964 and 1984. But when you look at the design of this particular model, it kind of mimics like a hybrid between the Colt Python and the Smith & Wesson revolver, mostly the Model 686. Now, this gun was actually designed to rival the Smith & Wesson Model 686, but it doesn't really live up to that in terms of equal comparison. I've owned my first one for almost 30 years, and I put thousands of rounds through that gun, primarily 357 Magnums. So, and it is a rugged gun. It held up very well shooting 357 Magnums. Now, the trigger was always great with it. Now, with this one, it's got a smooth trigger. The first one I had, if I remember right, it had a serrated trigger. Now, these are designated as target revolvers because they have the target trigger and target stocks. Now, just like the first one, it had this, what I would consider to be more of a combat style hammer, though I don't know what Taurus refers to it as, but it does have adjustable target sights. Now, this sight it works well. It's a fairly accurate gun, though I'm not a big fan of the design. It does work, and it has your typical Smith & Wesson style front sight with the red insert on it. Now, the gun itself is accurate enough, and I was able to shoot it fairly accurately up to about 15 to 20 yards. And one of the things about the gun that I can note about it is it's got a real long, real heavy double action trigger. I don't have never put a trigger gauge on this one, so I don't know what it is, but I would estimate it to be somewhere between 12 and 14 pounds. Now, the single action trigger, it rivals any of the Smith & Wesson triggers that I have. I mean, it's, I don't know, 2.5, 3 pounds maybe, but it's very light. Now, the lockup on it, it's okay. It's not as high quality as the guns that you find from Smith & Wesson, but it's decent. I wasn't and have never experienced any bullet shaving when I was shooting the gun, so though the lockup may not be as tight, the cylinder to barrel alignment is very good. As you can see too, that the frame and barrel alignment is really good, so there's no problem with the integrity of the gun when it comes to firing it. So if you're interested in a very nice Taurus 357 Magnum revolver, this model will be going on sale on Gunbroker, so look for it. You'll find it under my YouTube name. Thanks for watching.